Is this the Red Sox turning a new leaf or another upswing in a roller coaster season? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and thank you very much for clicking on this video. Hey, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. The Boston Red Sox have won a series again. This is the first time they've won a series out of their last 3 series. It's their first time they've won a series since they were in Cleveland, and it feels really good to see the Red Sox back in the win column, taking 2 out of 3 games from the Texas Rangers, officially putting themselves back over 500 on the season at 20-19, which is good for second place in the division and a half game back of a wild card spot, which I actually find interesting. The Red Sox are scuffling behind the Oakland Athletics, or not even the Oakland, just the Athletics at this point. Not exactly where you want to be, but still heading in the right direction, I feel like. But either way, this series conclusion for me is the first time in a while we've seen the Red Sox really start to put everything together. And my hope is that this is something that continues. Unfortunately, though, it's been kind of overshadowed by the dysfunction currently going on in this clubhouse. So we're going to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly from this series and how it impacts the Boston Red Sox. I feel like we have to start by talking about this Rafael Devers thing again. Look, I broke down the whole interview, the whole press conference yesterday in a video. If you want to strictly talk about that, there's a whole video on my channel for it. We're also going to be doing a video tomorrow on it, really breaking everything down in a different way with a special guest I'm really excited for, so I hope you guys tune into that as well. But what I'm going to say in this video, because it simply can't be ignored at this point, is the more I sit on it, the more I don't think anyone's in the right here. I don't think Rafael Devers should have come out and said what he said directly to the media. I don't think Rafael Devers should be opposed to playing first base. I think it is a selfish stance for him to take. I also understand why he's so angry with being asked to move positions yet again, and I also understand why he's so upset with this front office. From the front office point of view, I get why they want Rafael Devers at first base. I get why they expect him to play first base. I also understand that they went about this in a terrible way, right? I don't think Craig Breslow has handled this situation well at all. But again, that's a conversation for either yesterday's video or tomorrow's video. Today, let's talk about what Rafael Devers did on the field, because he did help the team win on the field, folks. He hit a home run in the finale of this series. He had a hit in the first game of this series. He walked 3 more times. And overall, Rafael Devers is starting to look like Rafael Devers again at the plate, just simply statistically. You're talking a 255 average with a 379 on base percentage and a 455 slug, which is good for a 133 OPS plus, and his underlying metrics right now are really putting him in elite conversations, whether you're talking about barrel rate or command over the strike zone. Look, like it or not, whatever side you're on with this Rafael Devers stuff, the Sox need Rafael Devers to win baseball games. It's as simple as that. When his bat is going right, the Red Sox are winning. When his bat is struggling, the Red Sox aren't winning, and that's just a statistical fact. Rafael Devers getting right and being the player we know he can be, at least at the plate, is going to help this team win baseball games, and you saw that in this series. One man who has no controversy around him at all is Alex Bregman, and he's exactly in the same position, right? He hits the Red Sox win, and that's exactly, once again, what we saw in this series. He's having just an incredible year. In the middle game of this series, he had 3 hits, a home run, a double, and 3 RBIs. He was one of the 2 reasons, really, the Red Sox won that game offensively, and he's just on another planet right now, folks. His 988 OPS is good for the second best in the AL. He's already up to 9 home runs and 30 RBIs. He's been everything the Red Sox have needed and more, right? You want to talk about face of the team, leader in the clubhouse, look right now at Alex Bregman, because he's doing everything he's been asked of and more for this team. And one guy who's doing, I think, more than anyone really expected for this offense is Wilyer Abreu. This dude, Alex Bregman, wasn't here, would be the story of the Red Sox offense in 2025. In this series, he had another 2 home run game. This dude absolutely loves hitting against the Texas Rangers, and he was responsible for the other 3 runs in the second game of this series. He'd been struggling a bit recently, so it's good to see him sort of put it back together at the plate. All he needs to do is face the Texas Rangers when he gets into a slump, and this dude is right back to hitting the way he hits. I'm excited to have this guy in the middle of the order at this point. I think he's an absolutely fantastic bat. I think he's proving that he can be a middle-of-the-order bat for the Red Sox, which just makes this outfield situation even more interesting. But what I was really impressed with, more so than big hits from big names in this lineup, was the overall ideology of the Red Sox at the plate in this series. The biggest problem with the Red Sox over these last couple of series, and really is on the season as a whole when they've been losing games, is their inability to hit in situations, right? Runner on first and third, 1 out, you get 2 strikeouts in a row, and all of a sudden you're down by 2 runs, right? That's sort of been the Red Sox MO this season. What we saw in this series was a lot of really great situational hitting. Guys didn't have the greatest series overall, but you had situations where you were for second and third, 1 out, and you hit a sac fly to get this guy in as opposed to striking out. Or maybe you got a runner on second with no outs and you're hitting a ground ball to second base that brings the runner over to third base, so then you can hit that sacrifice fly, right? You saw those little things kind of put in motion in these series, and that's a big reason why the Red Sox won these games. I don't think it's a coincidence that when the Red Sox win games like they did in this series, they're striking out less than 10 times a game. In the finale, it was 7 times. In the middle game, it was just once. That's how many strikeouts the Red Sox had. They had 8 strikeouts through 2 games. That's an average of 4 strikeouts a game. If that's where the Red Sox can sit, and we've said this before, this offense becomes much more dynamic. And to me, to see the Red Sox really highlight and almost turn a complete negative on this season into a reason why you're winning baseball games, that's a really, really big step in my opinion. And that's, again, an example of, hey, could the Red Sox actually turn a leaf here and put themselves in a position where they can do this consistently? Before we get into the second part of this video, I just wanted to let you guys know we have a brand new Red Seat Radio merch site. It looks absolutely fantastic. There are some incredible designs over there that really sort of highlight the mainstays of this channel. Hoodies, t-shirts, hats, all sorts of incredibly fun, high-quality Red Seat Radio merches over there. So if you haven't had a second to check it out, I highly recommend doing so. I'm going to put the link to the merch site in the description. I'm also going to pin it in the comment section, and if you want the easiest way, all you got to do is head over to the store tab on my channel and you can check out the merch there. I really appreciate you guys taking a second and taking a look at those. These merchandise items really mean a lot to me, so thank you. Let's get back to the video. I think the other thing that stood out to me when we're talking about, hey, could the Red Sox be turning a new leaf? Could they be turning things around a bit on the field right now? Was the bullpen play in this series? Because despite even getting that loss in the first game and not really getting a ton of great starting pitching, which we're going to talk about in a second, the Red Sox bullpen was really sort of lights out. Between all 3 of these games, the Red Sox only gave up 1 singular earned run from their bullpen, and it was a home run on Aroldis Chapman, who ended up getting the save anyways. That is a really, really great spot for the Red Sox bullpen to be in. You had guys like Bernardino, Justin Wilson come in and give you legitimately quality innings. You had guys like Justin Slayton and Garrett Whitlock, who had been really struggling lately, come in and dominate these Texas Rangers hitters. This is what this bullpen needed. They needed a bit of confidence, and it's exactly what they got in this series. But the one guy I really want to start highlighting for the Red Sox in this bullpen is Liam Hendriks. This dude threw 2 scoreless innings in the finale of this game, getting himself, it wasn't really a save, but it was concluding the game for the Red Sox. Overall, this dude is currently at a 2.25 ERA. After his really kind of rough introduction back into Major League Baseball, he has thrown 6 scoreless appearances for the Sox. This is a dude who's starting to look like himself again, and that is a massive, massive change to the Red Sox bullpen. If they can get this guy back to being a legitimate high-leverage pitcher, this bullpen's going to be in a much, much better spot. So to see all of these sort of key guys in this series come in here and be legitimately key guys, in my opinion, is a really big thing. Right? You talk about, okay, what were the problems with the Red Sox? It was situational hitting, and it was an inability to get through the middle innings of games. And in this series, they did exactly that, even in the games that they lost. So really, really good stuff from the Red Sox bullpen. Again, something where you could point to and say, hey, is this a situation where the Red Sox start to turn things around? Now, from the starting pitching side of things, it gets a little bit interesting, right? Because this was sort of your weakest point in this series. You had Lucas Giolito out there in the first game. He looked absolutely terrible. There's no 2 ways around it. He had 2 pitches that night. It was a changeup and a fastball, and the fastball was sitting around 91 miles an hour. That's just straight bullpen, right? That's just straight batting practice for these Texas Rangers. These guys are going to absolutely hit the crap out of 91 miles an hour straight or 86 miles an hour with a little bit of dip, right? Those guys are going to take advantage of that. They're Major League Baseball players, and we saw exactly that in this series. I'm a little worried about Giolito. I mean, it's just his second start after coming off the IL for basically 2 straight years. So I'm not overly worried, but that definitely isn't a great sign. You're going to have to see the Red Sox either tweak him a little bit or just simply get him to use other pitches than a fastball and a changeup. I'm hoping it was strictly weather-based, and in a better situation, he's a more dominant pitcher. Tanner Houck, I think you could put in the below average category, right? I don't think the start was bad enough to put in the bad category. Statistically, it wasn't all that great, but you actually watch these games and watch these innings. It wasn't so much that Tanner Houck just wasn't able to throw his pitches correctly. It was that the Texas Rangers were beating him on good pitches. I mean, that Adolis Garcia home run he gave up was on a pitch, 6 inches inside on Adolis Garcia's hands, right? For him to get around on that baseball and put it out is just simply impressive. I don't know if it's too much of the fault of Tanner Houck here. So I actually didn't hate this start from Tanner. It's certainly not what you want to get from a starting pitcher, but I don't know, right? Looking at it just simply eye test wise, I don't think it's cause for concern with Tanner. It's definitely more towards that Toronto Blue Jays start we saw from him as opposed to that Tampa Bay Rays start from him. So I'm okay with what Tanner did. I would love to see more. Bayo's a really interesting one because statistically, he was absolutely your best pitcher. It was 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, but he kind of tightrope walked this start, right? He walked 5 batters, only struck out 1 guy. He had traffic all over the base pass. I don't love that, right? I don't think it almost feels like he got a little bit lucky on the mound a little bit. My hope is that since he's been good the rest of the year, and while the walks have been an issue throughout every start, he's been a lot more dominant when it comes to strikeouts and when it comes to generating ground balls like he was in this series. I think he's just sort of one of those pitchers, right? He's never going to be a 10 strikeouts a game guy, which is kind of what we all hoped he was going to be. He's going to be a guy who relies on getting ground balls and having this defense pick him up in a way that breathes success into his starts. I don't know, right? I feel like you got a little bit lucky here. I want to see less free passes from Brayan Bello, but outside of that, it's hard to argue with 4 2/3 innings, only 4 hits, right? It's hard to say, oh, this dude was terrible, because statistically, he was absolutely fantastic. I think looking at this series overall, a lot of people are going to focus on the dysfunction, and rightfully so, right? I think Rafael Devers is causing a huge distraction for the Red Sox. I mean, we talked about him in today's video. We talked about him yesterday. We're going to talk about him tomorrow. That's a lot of focus not on the field for the Red Sox right now, but if we're just focusing on the field for the Red Sox, there's a lot of positives in this series to take out of it. You're starting to see, in my opinion, one really important thing, and that is that the Red Sox are turning their biggest negatives, which were situational hitting in the middle of this bullpen, and turning it into real highlights and reasons why you win a series. And to do that, to me, you have to really right this ship. Now, we've said this 100 times before this season already, right? We've said it 1,000 times, to be honest with you. The Red Sox could use this to actually build momentum and legitimately become the team that we are hoping they're going to be. This could be an indication that, hey, the Red Sox are starting to turn a leaf. The Red Sox are starting to put things together. It could also just simply be an upswing in a roller coaster type season, which is also what the results of every other positive note in this season has been for Boston. So I don't really know which way to take it. I'm going to end up, you know what, I'm going to stay positive. I think this is the Red Sox turning things around. We'll see. You've got the Kansas City Royals coming up. They're a pretty solid team this year. Let's see what you can do against those guys who have been extremely hot lately. They've won, 12 of their last 14 games or something like that. Beat those guys, and then we could really talk about the Red Sox righting the ship. But until then, that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about all this? What do you think about the pitching, the defense? What do you think about the series as a whole? Do you have any residual Rafi comments that you want to make and just get out of your system? I know a lot of you guys do. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. It just simply helps out a ton, and it's the best way to let me know you're enjoying the content. Don't forget, if you guys want to listen instead of watch these episodes, all you got to do is head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the Red Seats.